Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hey everyone, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel. And let me tell you, I am running on pure fumes today, just absolute fumes. My coffee has gone cold. My eyes are literally burning from staring at this screen for hours. But I have a deadline, and the drama in Los Angeles does not sleep. So I am not sleeping either. I am just going to dump all this raw information right onto the page for you guys because Tuesday, March 24 is going to be an absolute roller coaster. And I mean that it is clunky and messy and just full of the most chaotic decisions these characters could possibly make. So let's just get right into it. Let's start off with Elektra Forrester because my goodness, this girl is going through it. And she is also kind of being ridiculous, but we will get to that. Despite Will Spencer actually trying to get his girlfriend back, things have just not gone well at all. And it is so frustrating to watch because Will is putting in the effort. He really is. But there is a massive roadblock, and that roadblock is named Ivy Forrester. Ivy's just doing the most right now. It is actually insane. So Will and Elektra have spoken a few times, but nothing gets resolved. And why doesn't it get resolved? Because they are missing huge pieces of the puzzle. Elektra wrote this heartfelt letter, a beautiful pouring her heart out kind of letter. And she left it for Will. But Will never got it because Ivy stole it. She just straight up snatched it and put it in her purse. And Daphne saw her do it. But Daphne is just keeping her mouth shut because she is scared of the Forrester power, which is a whole other mess. But it gets worse because Ivy didn't just steal the letter. No, she took Will's broken necklace and she placed it right on Elektra's desk. And I just have to pause here because the psychological warfare of that is crazy. A broken necklace, it is such a heavy symbol. It basically screams that the relationship is completely shattered and beyond repair. And Elektra sees this. And she thinks Will left it there. She thinks Will is sending her a message that they are done forever. And Will has no idea. He has absolutely zero clue that Ivy is playing these games. And so Elektra is just hurting. She is so hurt and she is lashing out. Which brings us to the whole Melissa Dillon situation, because Steffi Forrester Finnegan, in all her CEO wisdom, decided to hire Dillon to be the new receptionist at Forrester Creations. And let me just say, the front desk at that company is always the center of the most ridiculous drama. But this takes the cake. Elektra completely lost her mind. She flew into a rage. She marched right up to Dillon and ordered her to quit. Just straight up demanded it. You need to go and tell Steffi that you quit. Like, who does that? Elektra is acting so entitled right now. She really thinks she can just dictate who works at her family's company just because she has a personal beef. And the beef is over a kiss that happened when Will and Elektra were already broken up. But Elektra is acting like Dillon committed the ultimate crime against humanity. But Dillon, oh man, Dillon is not backing down, and I kind of love it. She told Elektra no, flat out no, because Dillon needs this job. She was literally washing dishes at Il Giardino before this. She is terrified of being homeless again. She has faced real poverty, and Elektra, who grew up with silver spoons and designer clothes, is trying to take away this girl's livelihood over some boy drama. So Dillon refuses to quit. And she is standing her ground in that showroom. And the tension is just thick enough to cut with a knife. And Steffi is just watching this all happen. Steffi warned both of them. She told them they need to find a way to work together. She told Elektra to stick her chin out and move on. But Elektra doesn't want to move on. She wants Dillon gone. But since Dillon isn't leaving, Elektra is just ranting and raving to anyone who will listen. And who is listening? RJ Forrester. Because of course he is. RJ is just always right there. He is hovering. He is the ultimate shoulder to cry on right now. And Ivy is absolutely loving this. Ivy keeps trying to get Elektra and RJ closer together. She is actively pushing this agenda. She is telling Elektra how wonderful RJ is, how RJ would treat her so much better than Will ever could. And Elektra is vulnerable. She is hurt about the broken necklace. She is furious about Dylan working at the front desk. She is just a raw nerve. And RJ is being so sweet and supportive. So it seems to be working. Ivy's twisted little matchmaking scheme is actually paying off. Because in Tuesday's episode, we are going to see Elektra and RJ go for a night swim. And I just have to talk about this scene. Because it is so classic, B&B, a moonlight swim on the beach. The waves crashing. The lighting is probably going to be all moody and romantic. They get into the water. And they are just having fun. They are forgetting about the office drama for a minute. They are forgetting about Will and Dylan and Steffi and the stolen designs and all of it. And then they get out of the water. And there is a moment, a sizzling moment between them. The kind of moment where the air just gets heavy and nobody knows what to say. And they are taking selfies. They are flirting. RJ tells Elektra how amazing she looks. And she compliments him back. It is just a total vibe shift for Elektra. She is finally letting her guard down with him. But here is the thing. They're on the beach, a public beach. And what are the chances that Will sees them? I mean, this is a soap opera. So the chances are basically 100%. Will is probably going to be walking on the beach, brooding about the broken necklace and the fact that Elektra won't talk to him. And he is going to look over and he is going to see his ex-girlfriend, the love of his life, dripping wet from a moonlight swim, taking cute selfies with RJ Forrester, and that is going to break him. It is going to absolutely shatter whatever hope he had left, because Will doesn't know about the stolen letter. He doesn't know Ivy is manipulating everything. All he sees is Elektra moving on with a guy she already kissed, a guy who happens to be a Forrester. And so what is Will going to do? He is going to pivot. He is going to focus on moving ahead with Dylan, because Dylan is there. Dylan works in his building now. Dylan has already admitted she has feelings for him. And Will is a guy who is hurting. He is going to look for comfort, and Dylan is right there offering it. So Will and Dylan are going to start getting much closer, which is going to make the situation at the office so incredibly volatile. Because think about the dynamics at Forrester Creations right now. It is a powder keg. You have Elektra hating Dylan. You have Will hating RJ. You have Will moving on with Dylan, which is going to make Elektra even more insane. And you have RJ protecting Elektra from Will. It is just a massive square of hatred and jealousy. And let's not forget the backdrop of all this, the Logan versus Forrester war. Because Bill Spencer and Katie Logan Spencer are currently trying to launch this fashion house using Eric Forrester's stolen designs. And Brooke and Ridge just crashed their press conference and totally derailed the launch. So the adults are at war. Bill and Ridge are basically ready to punch each other. And Will just confronted his dad, Bill, about stealing the designs. And Bill told him, you can't steal something that you own. Because Bill claims Eric abandoned the project. So Will is already furious with his own family. He is fighting with his dad. He is fighting with RJ over the corporate espionage stuff. RJ actually accused Will of being a double agent for Bill and Katie. So Will and RJ already hate each other on a professional level. And now they are fighting over Elektra's heart. It is going to explode. The Forrester office is not big enough for all these egos and all these broken hearts. Somebody is going to snap, and my money is on Elektra doing something totally unhinged to get Dylan fired. Or maybe Will is going to throw a punch at RJ. I don't know, but I am typing this as fast as I can because my brain is just spinning with the possibilities. But wait, because that is only half the episode. We have to talk about the Monday, March 23 cliffhanger that is spilling right into Tuesday, March 24. And this is the part that is just blowing my mind because Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp, I mean, what are they doing? What are they actually thinking? Steffi gave Taylor a massive ultimatum. She told her mother to stay away from Deacon. She threatened to cut Taylor out of the family entirely, and Taylor just does not care. She is acting like a rebellious teenager. Taylor and Deacon just cannot stay away from each other. The attraction is too strong. The history is too deep, and they are playing with absolute fire. So we see them in Taylor's bedroom, and it is getting hot. They are about to get passionate in bed. They are stripped down. Deacon is looking at Taylor, and he literally says, I fought this as hard as I could, but nothing is going to keep us apart. And they start making out on the bed. It is happening. The line has been crossed. The betrayal is fully underway. But then, oh my gosh, then Sheila's face pops up at the window. Sheila Carter Sharp, the wife, the psychopath, the woman who has shot people and faked her own death and cut off her own toe, that she is at the window. And I just have to break down the logistics of this scene because it is so clunky and amazing. So Sheila is peering in the window and not in the doorway, which means the place must have been locked. Thank God they remembered to lock the door, because if they hadn't, Sheila would have just waltzed right in and we would have a double homicide on our hands. So the door is locked and nobody is answering because obviously Taylor and Deacon are busy rolling around on the mattress. But Sheila's not a normal person. A normal person knocks on a locked door, gets no answer, and goes home. Not Sheila. When nobody answers the door, she doesn't walk away. She peers in the window, and she is holding a bouquet of flowers, just clutching these flowers like some kind of creepy, grateful stalker. Because the flowers are most likely Sheila once again thanking Taylor for her marriage, which is the sickest irony ever. Sheila is bringing flowers to thank the woman who is currently sleeping with her husband. You cannot write this stuff. Well, I mean, the B&B writers can, and they did. And it is brilliant in a very trashy, clunky way. So Sheila is peering in, and Deacon has to hide. He is going to panic. I can just picture him scrambling off that bed, grabbing his clothes and diving under the bed. Or maybe running into the bathroom and hiding in the shower. It is going to be pure slapstick comedy mixed with absolute terror. And the irony of it all, isn't that exactly where Sheila hid when she was a fugitive, hiding in a parolee's apartment? She used to hide in Deacon's bathroom and under his bed when people came knocking. And now Deacon is the one hiding from her. The karma is just too good. But here is where my tired journalist brain starts connecting the dots, because Sheila Carter Sharp suspects something. I know she does. Sheila isn't usually this dense. She is a mastermind. She observes everything. She notices micro expressions. So why is she acting so oblivious? Why is she bringing flowers and playing the grateful friend? I have to wonder if she actually suspects what is going on. What if she already knows Deacon is cheating? What if she tracked his phone? What if she smelled Taylor's perfume on his shirt? Sheila is not dumb. And if she plays this smart and right, she could ruin him completely. Think about it. Deacon has been working so hard on his business. He owns Il Giardino. He is a legitimate businessman now. He has money. He has a legacy to leave for Hope, but he is married to Sheila. And if Sheila catches him cheating with Taylor Hayes, of all people, the woman Sheila hates more than anyone except maybe Brooke, Sheila is not just going to cry and file for divorce. Sheila is going to take everything. If she plays her cards right, Sheila could end up with Il Giardino. She could take the restaurant. She could take his apartment. She could take every single thing Deacon has been working on business-wise. She could destroy his relationship with Hope. She could blackmail Taylor. The possibilities are endless. So stay tuned to find out what happens when Deacon and Taylor discover Sheila isn't as dumb as they think. Because right now they think they are getting away with it. They think they are so slick, locking the door and hooking up in the middle of the day. But Sheila's at the window. She is looking right in. And even if she doesn't see Deacon's face, she is going to see 2 glasses of wine. or she's going to see a man's jacket on the chair. She is going to know, I am just so exhausted even thinking about the fallout from this. My fingers are cramping from typing, but I can't stop because there is just so much to unpack. Let's go back to Elektra and RJ for a second, because the night swim, I can't get over the night swim. It is such a classic soap trope. You go swimming, you get cold, you huddle together for warmth, and boom, you are in love. And Ivy is just watching it all happen. We know from the previews that Ivy is spying on them. She is literally lurking in the bushes or behind a beach umbrella or something, just watching her niece flirt with RJ. And Ivy is feeling so smug. She is feeling like a genius because her plan is working perfectly. She removed Will from the equation with the stolen letter and the broken necklace. And she placed RJ right in Elektra's path. But Ivy is playing a dangerous game because Dylan knows. Dylan overheard Ivy and Daphne talking in the design room. Dylan knows that Ivy stole the letter, and Dylan confronted Ivy about it. She busted her completely. So Ivy is cornered. The great Ivy Forrester is backed into a corner by a girl who used to wash dishes. And what is Ivy going to do? She is going to use her money. Last time Ivy paid Dylan to leave town, remember that, she literally wrote a check to make Dylan disappear. And it worked for a while until Dylan came back. So this time Ivy might pay her to keep quiet. She might offer Dylan a massive amount of cash to just shut her mouth and let Elektra move on with RJ. And Dylan has a huge dilemma because on one hand, Dylan wants to be a good person. She isn't evil. I really don't think she is evil. I truly think she is just taking advantage of the opportunities that are in front of her. That's how people survive. When you have been homeless, when you have had nothing, you don't turn down money. You don't turn down a job at Forrester Creations, and you definitely don't turn down a rich guy like Will Spencer. So Dylan has to choose. Does she tell Will the truth? Does she say, hey, Will, Elektra actually wrote you a beautiful letter and Ivy stole it, so you guys should get back together? If she does that, she loses Will, because Will will run right back to Elektra, and Dylan will be left with nothing. Plus, Ivy will probably get her fired from Forrester Creations. Or does Dylan keep the secret? Does she take Ivy's money or just stay quiet and keep Will for herself? Will is already leaning toward her. He kissed her. He is mad at Elektra. If Dylan just stays quiet, she gets the guy and she gets to keep her job. It seems like a no-brainer for someone in survival mode. It seems that Dylan might be too afraid of being homeless again. So for now, she might keep Ivy's secret. But the guilt, oh man, the guilt could start to eat her up, because Dylan is going to have to look Will in the eye every single day and know that she is the reason he isn't with his true love. And she is going to have to sit at that reception desk and watch Elektra and RJ parade around, knowing that Elektra's heart is secretly breaking for Will. It is a massive moral dilemma. And honestly, it is the most interesting storyline Dylan has had since she showed up on the canvas. And what about Daphne? Daphne is just a mess. She is married to Carter Walton now. They are newlyweds. They are supposed to be in the honeymoon phase. They're trying to have a baby. They're having these sizzling romantic evenings alone, but conceiving isn't going as easily as they hoped. There might be some infertility struggles on the horizon. And on top of that stress, Daphne is carrying this massive secret for Ivy. She knows Ivy stole the letter. She knows Ivy is ruining 2 lives. And Daphne is a good person at heart. She can't keep Ivy's meddling to herself forever. Elektra probably won't listen to her because Elektra is too busy screaming at Dylan and swimming with RJ. But maybe Carter Walton will listen. Carter is a man of principles. He is a lawyer. He believes in truth and justice. We haven't seen Carter involved in the front burner drama in a while. But at some point, he is going to guess that Daphne is troubled by something. He is going to notice that his wife is stressed out. And when Carter pushes, Daphne is going to crack. And if Carter finds out what Ivy did, oh boy, Carter is not going to stand for it. He will probably march right up to Will and tell him the truth. Or he will tell Steffi, and then Ivy's whole house of cards is going to come crashing down. But for now, On Tuesday, March 24, the lies are still holding up. The secrets are still buried. Elektra is getting closer to RJ. Will is getting closer to Dylan. Ivy is feeling smug. And Sheila is peering through a window while her husband hides under a bed like a coward. It is just peak soap opera, guys. It is messy, it is clunky, it is frustrating, and I cannot look away. I am literally typing so hard my keyboard is shaking because you just know that when these secrets drop, the explosions are going to be legendary. Will is going to lose his mind when he finds out about the letter. Elektra's going to feel like a fool for falling for RJ's nice guy act when Will was actually trying to reach her. And Sheila is going to burn Los Angeles to the ground if she finds out about Taylor and Deacon. I mean, let's just theorize about Sheila for another minute because my brain won't let it go. Sheila brought flowers. Why flowers? To show appreciation for Taylor letting her marry Deacon. It is a psychological power play. Sheila wants Taylor to feel guilty. Sheila knows that Taylor has always been the moral compass of the family. The world-renowned psychiatrist, the woman who is supposed to be above the gutter, and Sheila wants to drag her right down into the mud. If Sheila sees them, or even if she just suspects, she isn't going to confront them right away. That is not Sheila's style anymore. Old Sheila would have pulled out a gun and started shooting. But new Sheila, Nine Toes Sheila, she is a businesswoman now. She is married to a restaurant owner. She is going to play the long game. She is going to gather evidence. She is going to take photos. She might even plant a bug in Deacon's apartment. And then when the time is right, she is going to drop the hammer. She will go to Steffi. Can you imagine that scene, Sheila Carter walking into Forrester Creations, bypassing Dylan at the reception desk, walking right into the CEO office and handing Steffi photos of Taylor and Deacon in bed? Steffi's head would literally explode. Steffi hates Sheila, but Steffi also told Taylor to stay away from Deacon. The betrayal would destroy the Hayes family. And then Sheila would turn to Deacon and she would say, give me the restaurant or I release the photos to the press. A massive scandal for the Forrester family. A massive scandal for Taylor's psychiatric practice. Deacon would have no choice. He would have to sign over Il Giardino to Sheila. And Sheila would finally have the legitimacy and the power she has craved for 30 years. It is a brilliant theory. And honestly, if the writers don't do it, I am going to be so mad because the pieces are all right there. The locked door, the flowers, the hiding under the bed. It is all setting up a massive shift in power. And meanwhile, back at the beach, RJ and Elektra are just taking selfies, completely oblivious to the corporate warfare and the psycho